BYU starters, same as last night, led by Trent Mosier, kind of the alpha on the pins. Tufunga, Hergert, Oldani, Cottle, Chambers, and Fife as we are underway. Oldani's first swing is blocked. He went 7 for 7 last night in set one. He gets stuffed on the triple right out of the gate.
Right, the triple block. So clearly UC San Diego's like, oh, remember how we forgot this guy? Let's get out there.
Vednikov, Ewert, Garrison, Sani, Selcho, Boyle, and Whirl. Same starters as last night for the Tritons. Selcho on the serve. BYU in the all-black jerseys, dark mode. They handed out black long-sleeve shirts. Triple blocked over. How about Ewert right there? Set her out. High for Oldani, and he's stuffed twice. So a massive adjustment from last night. And Miley Jukes immediately having a conversation with the Tritons. Too much chatter for her taste.
Well, I think this is just really the fourth set, right? From last night, a lot of the same feelings carry over, including a lot of the chatter.
The serve into the back of Jim Garrison. They do that like cupping thing on the shoulders and back. It's probably just like that, right?
Well, I think that's why they stand with their hands behind their head. You think it's just to block the serve, but it's to protect the noggin.
And one of the rules is you cannot raise your hands at the net either. That one off the tape from Ewert. Free serve is what I'm talking about. Boyle, great dig. Sani, cross court and out. And you're right, we did not warm up into this. This is like Stranger Things. You see the first 4 episodes, and then you jump right into 5. You just bang right into it. Just a week later.
It's exactly.
2-2. That's
exactly
I know
what
that's what you were referencing. Tufunga for BYU. Pass from Ewert. Whirl up the middle. Garrison gets it to go. Jim Garrison reminds me of Jim Hopper, senior from Manhattan Beach, California. 6 kills, hit 500 last night.
Well, and that offense obviously want to get going for UC San Diego. Interesting, BYU has only set Oldani at this point. 4 attempts going his way.
And they set somebody else now, and Gavin Chambers like, hey, I'm right here too. Nice night from Gavin. Going 3 for 4 with 3 blocks.
Well, and that's the game. Just a series of adjustments, especially as a setter. If you're Tyler Hergert, you have to know where the blockers are, who the hot hand is, and deal with whatever pass you've got coming.
3-3, set 1. Sani inside of the block of Cottle. Now, if you are watching this match, we applaud you for a million reasons. Because BYU fans right now, there's a men's basketball game, top 15 matchup with Texas Tech. So if you have them both going, you a real one. I'm not going to spoil the score, okay? In fact, a fan came up to me and said, you always spoil the score. And I said, get some internet, dog. No, he's right. I do like saying the score. I'm not going to spoil it. That one hit the antenna from Mosier. 5-3. Tritons coming out with a different level of energy today.
And I think that's critical to say energy, because you think about last night and the energy on the Triton side was low, and you'd think, oh, they're losing by 12 points, and then look at the scoreboard and they were only down 1. So definitely in that match last night, despite maybe how they felt on the floor.
That one goes out from Sani. Brad Rostrader telling us offensively, BYU was incredible with first ball side out. They were better in transition. And then UCSD's service, they served out way too often. Wow, what a dig on the offering from Vednikov. And that was a back row attack from UCSD. And that was kind of an interesting call, because it took a sec.
It did take a long time.
After the dig had already happened, it was coming over, and then it's like, wait a minute, here's the call. They call for a mop out there. Nope, we're good. Connor Oldani, 5-5. What a night he had last night. Ewert, good pass up to Whirl. All the options smacked into Tyler Hergert, the Karate Kid.
That's a big, big block. Obviously gets a point, gets some energy as you see Hergert dive into that seam. But Ewert, a player that when he gets going, it is tough to stop him.
Daniel Vednikov. Ewert, left hand dug up to Funga into the back row. And this goes a mile deep past the bench. 7-5, BYU on a 4-0 run.
Don't you love, you feel the energy on both sides, raising the bar. Oh, you're gonna bomb this one? Here comes Tafunga hitting it even harder. To get a kill, you've gotta make it perfect.
Danny continues from the line. Garrison tickles the tape. BYU in transition. Mosher, yeah, BYU continues. 8-5. Fred Mosher's first kill of the night.
And great transition work for the Cougars to get up and off the net fast. And Herget making that adjustment, getting different players involved in the offense.
Well, Danny continues to pepper the UCSD serve receive with an ace. That's a 6-0 run. It's 9-5. And you wonder if the Tritons will call a timeout right now.
Just trying to slow it down a little bit.
He let him huddle, and then Brad Rostrader called the timeout. BYU on a 6-0 run. And some great juice from both squads in set number 1. Notably, Hawaii in there 3 times. And some real big wins in the Big West tournament. That's when you want to pull off those top 10 upsets, and they have the last couple years.
Right, you want to play your best in April, and it looks like they can get their team there.
UCSD with the double. They changed the rules the last couple years. First in the women's, and then accepted in the men's of basically you can double on the first 2 contacts as long as it doesn't work. On the third one, or if it goes over, no. There's been some fear that it would make the setting worse, but what it does is keep the flow of the game going. That's the pro.
And make the setting worse.
As Sani goes out. What are the long-term effects of that?
Well, I mean, as a purist, it affects the game, right? It affects how, I mean, I get why slowing it down, but to all these setters who have trained their craft, it kind of limits that and takes away from that skill.
BYU on an 8-0 run. Now it's over with Josh Ewert, but what a run on the service line from Connor Oldaney. Struggling offensively, 0 for 4 with 2 errors, but really good from the service line right there. Jim Garrison will serve it up now. They experimented with him at opposite in the fall against Hawaii, by the way. Herget, Cottle. Last night I said, man, you hit so high. He goes, I don't want to mess with the block. I just try and go over. And then Casey Patterson, Beach USA Olympian, former BYU Cougar, was in the house last night.
A fellow Ginger.
Absolutely. Said he's good at the over-under, over the block and under the next line of defenders. I said, I haven't heard that one. I like that. Casey, share your wisdom with us. Blocked by H.A. Cottle and BYU on a 9-1 run now.
Yeah, an interesting adjustment. You felt that momentum initially coming out. UCSD feeling really good as we get a setting sub here from UCSD, trying to mix up that completely to try to come back here.
Cameron Worrell out, John Lewis in. UCSD hitting -188. BYU only hitting 100, yet are up 13-6. Lewis first set, out of the back row, nicely done to Leo Provednikov.
Well, when we talked to Coach Olmstead about the focus and continued focus for his team in this match, he said, we've got another level of serving. We've got a team that has the ability to really put pressure on from the beginning and not stop. So look for them to continue to work that.
Lewis tickles the tape and gets the ace. So he comes in right away, sets the bic, and then gets an ace. The senior from Lebanon, Ohio, the transfer out of Lincoln Memorial.
Coach Rostrader said he is such a hard worker on the court, just such a smart player, gets after it, brings a lot of energy to this team.
Goes into the net on that one. Brad Rostrader told us before the match, last night we were 28% of our service error number. We want to be 18% or less. And so you want to keep it in, but you have to have the pedal down at a certain level. It's a tough thing to tangle with. That's the highest set I've ever seen on a service season. That was crazy. Brent Mosier off the block. Provednikov set that 38 feet in the air. That was crazy.
Everybody time on that play.
It came down with snow on it, Steve Bale would say. Timeout UCSD. Second and final timeout, BYU in control, 15-8, set one. So BYU's best hitting rotation is row 4. That's when Tyler Herget is front left. Row 5 stinks. We asked Sean Olmstead, why the difference? And he said, we're trying to get A.J. Cottle to not be caught on the right side of Tyler Herget. And so it's hard for him to get open. Quick tempo on a frozen rope. And the cowhide globe hits home, as Hot Rod Hundley would say, the great West Virginia native. Look at this set and how flat this is.
And look how far away from the net he is. Just pushing that tempo, Lures, to get that middle involved in the offense.
Ace by Jordan Ewert. Excuse me, Josh Ewert. His brother was Jordan that played at Stanford. Let's check in with Kenzie.
Yeah, Jerm, during that UCSD timeout, the theme was trying to slow it down, get to one good point of volleyball at a time, trying to break this game down point by point to get out of their heads a little bit and get some rhythm on their side.
Thank you, Kenzie. Muldaney still looking for his first kill of the match. Dug up that time, 15-10, looking for the high hands, not there. 16-10 BYU.
I think that's an interesting point that Kenzie makes, because especially when you're down like UCSD was last night, when you go back to the serve, you feel like I've got to make up 5 points right here. And so you have a bit of pressure. And so just thinking of next play, slowly working your way back in is a good way to look at it.
Nice serve. Across the way. Passed over by Sani. To Funga inside of the block. Nicely done. Chambers through the middle.
Right, and that ball dying a little bit allowed Fuga to really get on it a bit, and he was able to speed and really force that arm to cut it off early, noticing that the middle wasn't there.
Kick attempt by Provednikov. We had a great kick last night from BYU. Nice serve, 67 from Tyler Herget. Provednikov over the top and off the block. He's got 2 kills. 5 dudes with at least a kill right now for UCSD. Last night they were kind of seeking someone else besides Sani to kind of join the party. BYU led by Connor Muldaney with 16. Here's Peter Selcho, the senior from Fountain Valley, California. 3 kills, an ace and a block last night. Was cross court, but out. 18-11. So the Tritons came out with great juice. They had the lead early. BYU goes on an 8-0 run. What did BYU adjust to get this big lead?
Well, I think that serve, obviously, from Muldaney really quieted the run from UC San Diego, and such service pressure prevented them from really following through and feeling it.
Ewert and Sani. Sani said, hey, I'm right there, man. I got it. A little bit of negative body language there between those two.
Well, and when you serve in the middle of 2 people, right, you're not only serving a location, but you're serving a relationship and communication.
Nice. I would say that was 100% Sani's, though. I think he's right. He may have just presented it in a way that was interesting. Blocked by Mosier and in. 4th block of set 1 by Brigham Young, and the Cougars first to 20.
Well, and I think you nailed it, Jerem. Like, the change in this match was that service run right there. And now UCSD, where they came out with such confidence, you can see it on their face. They're back on their heels, just not feeling that ability to run the match like they'd like to.
Lewis tried to save it, and then it was a little bit off on Garrison. And Lewis is saying, hey, I'm trying to set the ball. I felt like BYU was over the plane on that. And
maybe touched it. And if you interfere, obviously you'd be called over if the setter was trying to set.
We might have a replay here. We'll see. Or they may just call a violation on BYU. We'll see what Mike Farish does with Miley Jukes. They're having a conversation as we take another look. Oh, he hits his hand. Yeah, he never gets the ball. That should be a violation on Gavin Chambers and BYU. Miley Jukes is saying, get out of here. I'm trying to talk with Mike Farish. She literally said something like, hey, leave, go away.
Hey, but when you're the captain,
I think she's tired of the chatter, too. She seems annoyed by
both sides.
Yeah. It's a little chatty. So what is the call? It looks like BYU stays with the point. Do you feel like that should have been a violation against Chambers since he hit the hand?
Well, I think and he made a great move. Lures went up. That seemed like it was within the plane. And so when it's within the plane, it's at the discretion of the referee. That's a tough one.
And that is not challengeable either. Sani was mad on that swing, and O'Daney stuffed it. 22-11, 5-0 run, and 5 blocks by the Cougars.
Lures pushing the tempo, allowing the one-on-one, but O'Daney lines up well. And again, let's reiterate, his second weekend on the right, the block is different. He's able to really find a way to shut down those left sides.
Going off the net into a teammate from Tufunga. When you're up 11, you can really rip it. And here comes Leo Provednikov, the junior from Long Beach. Has an ace in all 4 matches. Brings a certain amount of calm, according to his coach, to this team. Tickles the tape. A sliding pass from Tufunga. Cross court inside for Mosier off the block.
And you watch Herget move there. Out of system pass. He has to go behind and push that ball all the way to the outside. Such strength to get it all the way where Mosier can really hit whatever shot he wants. Terrific job bettering the ball by Herget.
Tyler Herget was fantastic last night.
He is so good. He just is making such good choices. His location is good, really leading this team well.
That was good location too from Garrison.
And that's that fast play. UC San Diego obviously not playing for the first set anymore. Everything is looking ahead to set 2 and feeling a little more confidence that you can take into that set.
Trevor Herget in for BYU on the back line. There's Sebastiano Sani, the junior from Bethesda, Maryland. Transfer from Long Beach State. High and far toss. Wow, that was a good one. Bumped by BYU, back over. And then Trevor Herget, that's a lift. They didn't call it. And then it goes down on UCSD side. Set point, BYU. Cougars would have challenged if they didn't get that point.
I think both teams wanted a bit of a challenge. Yeah, hey, but if you're there, do what you can to pop it up. But incredible play, and these 2 players are hitting the ball so hard. Terrific job defensively to even keep that run alive.
6 blocks for BYU. O'Daney was really good on an 8-0 run from the line for BYU. Now he can rip into one. Overpass, Cottle puts it away. That is set 1. And that is the largest set win in the early season so far for BYU, 25-13.
Well, what a start. Both teams came out firing, but after that run from O'Daney to get it going at the beginning, UC San Diego really couldn't come back.
With 1. O'Daney was 0 for 5 with 2 errors, but he served really well during a NATO stretch that got BYU its big lead, and that was the largest margin of set win in any of the 10 sets BYU's played so far in the early goings of this season.
Well, I think what's interesting for BYU is you see O'Daney struggle, and that was okay. Other people could step in. When you have a team that has so many weapons, it doesn't have to be all on the shoulders of one player. So pretty fantastic. You look around and try to figure out whose night it is and find that hot hand.
UCSD 4 years ago came in here and won its first matches ever against BYU, not in Provo, ever, anywhere. They were 0-44. They won 2 matches in 5 sets. BYU probably feels like they restored some order to the series history, but there's no order there. It's 45-2. It's crazy, but UC San Diego ranked number 10, coming off a program record 18 wins last year, a very good team. In fact, BYU yesterday said, hey, we're not going to sweep these guys. Expect a 4 or 5 set match. Then BYU played its best match of the early season, only the 3rd one. Hit 460, won. They expect a bigger fight tonight from UCSD. And we saw that in the early goings, and then BYU took a punch and then punched harder back.
Well, and I think so important for these cross-conference rivalries that these teams both work hard to get a couple wins, because it's going to really play into the conversation come NCAAs.
Good block by Gavin Chambers. And as you mentioned, 12-team tournament now, 7 auto bids, 5 at-large. Back in the day, it was 4 teams, 1 at-large. Recently, it's been 2 at-large. The extra 3 puts a team like BYU in the mix most years previously. UC San Diego's got to feel like, hey, because the chances that UC San Diego wins the Big West tournament, they pulled off some upsets, but for both these teams, on the low end, they're not favored to be in the top 3, right, or whatnot. They go on a run. But if you don't, 5 at-large bids is great, and it's awesome that we finally got to this point. It took way too long. Tufunga over the top and out. BYU thinks that's in. Do they think enough to challenge?
And that's one of those plays where it's like, good set, good swing, just missed, keep it going, nothing to change. Be good to see her go right back to Tufunga to really help him keep that confidence.
Selcho. Ace into area 5. The 3rd ace of the night for the Tritons.
Well, and Selcho again really attacking that corner again. We saw that in the first set where he just missed, but the wide open as BYU's passing, you see Trent Mosier really scooting up, leaving that corner open. Wide open spaces from the Dixie Chicks. I know you loved that song back in the day. Yeah, circa what, 1995?
We don't need to say that year. 3-2. Triple block by BYU, still sky high. Whirl back in there in this set to start. Nice pass. Tufunga on the right side, rips one out. May have grazed the defender, but I don't think BYU is going to challenge. Nice eye by the Tritons. There's 2 hitting errors on the first 3 attacks by BYU in this set. And this one you feel Tufunga, you see him catching it behind his head a little bit. I think it was in and it touched Ewert's arm. Wow. 4-2 Tritons. That one's sky high too, it's popular. As Chambers is blocked in the middle by the Tritons. Well read by Garrison. And that was a double block there in the middle. Wide open, Tufunga back behind. Even though he's had 2 errors, you still go there because it's what was open? Well, and because they haven't been bad errors. Like you said, it was in before, right? There are errors on the score sheet, but he wasn't hitting poorly. Sky high for... That's a call, yeah. Herget is back row, and that's why. Herget just double checking. Timeout. BYU, 6-2 start for the Tritons. Cougars got to tuck it over in Provo. Start this set, hitting in the negative. Well, isn't volleyball great, right? What was last night? It is the best. But it was all offense last night, and now you got to find different ways to score. There's a lot of different ones, and BYU's errors just piling up at this point. Hitting, what, 800? Negative 800. That's rough. Not good. Not great, Bob. Incredible. How about Old Daney? 0 for 7 with 3 errors. Contributing from the service line, but offensively really struggling. And what a run from Selcho. Ace! 4th ace. And an 8-0 run. BYU led 2-0. It's been all Triton since. Yeah, exactly the same thing as we saw in the first set, except now it's UC San Diego going on that run. And Peter Selcho, 6'5", middle blocker senior, with the hybrid-ish serve giving BYU problems. The Prius of serves, if you will. And that ends the 8-0 run. I believe that was the largest deficit BYU's had all season, this being match number 4. Swirl to Garrison. Gets it done. Jim Garrison. Didn't have an error against Rockhurst. Was good last night as well, hitting 500. Well, and he's just a steady player. He's been a starter forever. 6'9", senior, just really a great leader on the floor. They want to run the offense through him as much as they can. 9-3. Herget back set to Chambers, Ewert there, and then Sani off the block. 10-3 Tritons. And that confidence you can see is really settling into that flow of the offense. Really quick, in system as these teams running well. Tufunga, rocked by Garrison. Oh my. That's a highlight reel stuff. second and final timeout for BYU at point number 3. All Tritons piercing the Cougar defense right now. Trajectory for this program. Provednikov goes long, not by much.
Well, and I think they've got the coaching staff, they've got the players to do it. Traditionally, they're a team that peaks in April, which is what you want to do and really disrupt things playing in the Big West, one of the top conferences in the country, and competing night in and night out.
Chambers and Boyle. A little high for Leo Provednikov. Let's check in with Kenzie Dowling.
Yeah, Jeremy, Coach Olmstead talking to his team in that timeout and just said, forget about the score at this point. I'm out of timeouts. We just need to start changing something, try to build some momentum. We got to fight till the end and just try to start changing the shift of this match here.
See what they do with that. Wow, 71. Tight. Herget, Cottle. UCSD into the net, it looks like.
Right, and that's one of those plays when you're disrupting, just go up and get the setter to touch it. But because UCSD went to swing at it and Herget saved it, Ewert had nothing to swing at.
And he hit the net. That's right. Very nice. And it kind of went off of Garrison. Here's Oldani. He's been good from the line. Right at the libero. Provednikov, nobody up. And then Tafunga's breadbasket, Whirl just primal screaming to the crowd there, 13-5.
And Whirl doing a nice job locating the ball for his team. Whenever you see a one-on-one, you tip your hat to the setter. When there's no block up, you better go give your setter a lot more than that.
That's where Venmo's a nice friendly gift. Tyler Stewart, third string setter, coming in as a serving sub there. D-ball for Oldani, and he set it. Sani down the line, but out. 13-6. BYU's got 1 kill so far, and it's not like UC San Diego has a ton more. There are 4. A lot of errors in this second set.
But for UCSD, you feel the energy completely different than last night. Just that confidence coming together in the middle, a lot more movement and effort on the floor.
Here's Mosier. Good serve. Whirl sets it over, kept alive by Oldani, and then set over by Ewert into area 1.
Ewert, great heads-up play, realizing the defense was jammed inside. You see Oldani on the floor. There's no way he's getting to that. So good heads-up play.
Nice serve by Whirl. Cottle rises up. A.J. Cottle grew up a massive, massive BYU fan. This is a dream come true for him to be on this team. Played at Utah Valley before his mission. Moved to Provo when he was a kid. Has wanted to be on this court, and now he's become a major player, and he gets an ace. Tickles the tape. Ace man lays down the third of the night for BYU.
Just using the equipment, getting a little momentum back on his team side. Yes, BYU is down by a ton of points, but it's still so early in this second set. They have some room and some time to work their way back in.
Cottle into the net. 15-8 in set 2. Cougars won the first one, 25-13. You're hitting negative 364. So if you have more errors than kills, that's how you hit in the negative. Right now, UCSD hitting 300. That's a good number. You're hitting negative 364. That was whipped in, and BYU saying, no way that's in. And Sean's like, yeah, it was in. I'm not challenging that.
But that's
an ace.
Right? Do you want to disrupt Ewert? When he gets on a roll, he's tough to stop. What?
Yeah, that's on the line.
What a serve.
Nice.
Nowhere near the passing lanes.
Then he goes 77. Mosier handles it. Oldani goes out off of Doug Swenson, the line judge. Oldani having a tough night, 0 for 9 with 3 errors. He was on fire last night.
Ah, sports.
Sports,
right?
They'll get you. The thing he's doing, though, is he's passing, blocking, so
right?
He's contributing in other ways still. Some guys, when this happens, they're completely useless.
I think that's a great point, and that's what you've got to do. If for whatever reason one part of your game isn't hitting like you want it to, you look for other ways to really contribute.
I do wonder at some point if you try to put Trevor Herget in, maybe move Tufunga just so you get some offense from that spot, but that could quickly change for O'Daney. We'll see. Smashed by Sani, who screams across the net.
Well, and given how quickly BYU used up those timeouts, they've got to just ride this out and try to slow it down as best they can.
Trevor Herget is in the match, by the way, for Talon Jonathan Tufunga. 18-9. Triton's doubling up the Cougars.
And Selcho behind the line.
Fife eyes it out.
Well, Fife was on that so quick, going to the corner, because that had been Selcho's bread and butter in that service run they had. Great adjustment from the libero. He did not want to continue.
He better have good eyes. He's going to dental school next year here in Salt Lake. Yeah, it's a 3-year program, so no breaks. 66 miles an hour from freshman Trevor Herget. Sani off the block. 4 kills for Sebastiano Sani. 19-10 Tritons.
Well, and just a solid offensive effort for this Triton team in this second set, hitting over 400.
Vednikov, 5 aces on the year. Tickles the tape. Brother-to-brother connection on the passes. Blocked. It's got to go over right now, and Mosier goes out.
You like the coverage on that play from the Cougars to keep that play alive, allowing Mosier another shot, but just misses the sideline. It's a good swing with not much of an approach. See, UCSD pulled their hands trying to ensure that they didn't get tooled.
Mosier over the top. So with the Hergets, their older brother was the one that started playing volleyball, and then everyone after started playing, because their dad Todd played linebacker here. Mom didn't play volleyball growing up. It was the older brother that got into it. Now they're an absolute volleyball family. Trevor, there were thoughts, hey, maybe we redshirt him, he's good. He wanted to play with his brother Tyler. They've never played together. 4 years apart, and this is a special experience for these guys, which is pretty cool. Provednikov is stuffed but out. 21-11. Tritons in set 2, absolutely taking it to BYU here. And volleyball can change so quick.
And especially in January, you feel like it's more of a roller coaster with tons of runs of points rather than settling in and being really efficient on that first ball side out.
Peter Selcho was in the front row, and there were 4 dudes for a second. He sprinted out. Keegan Cook just ran back out on the court as the libero. A little bit of mix-up. Not out of rotation, just who's in, who's not. Mosier off of Sani into the upper deck. 5 kills to lead BYU now. I've not seen that where Selcho was literally sprinting out.
Well, I think he was thinking he was front row, and then he was like, oh wait, not yet. So he had to run.
And then they said, hey, Garrison, Keegan, get out there.
Yeah, Garrison's like, what are you doing? Get back.
Why are there only 5 players? O'Daney off the tape. Whirl. Gets blocked. Good read by BYU.
Well, and you look at this deficit, obviously huge, but what Trent Mosier has done in the last 5 points is just really showcase that leadership ability. He's playing with a lot of energy, making plays, getting kills on the outside, trying to lead this team to a bit of a spark.
UCSD is going to win the set. It's just by how much, and what can BYU sort of muster going into set 3. O'Daney's like, are you sure about that? Look at World, keep that in outside the antenna. How about that? Sean can't believe it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was outside the antenna.
Trevor Herget's going to make sure that doesn't matter. Sean Olmstead is fired up. Well, he's saying, how did you miss that?
Well, for that to work, right, they have to run around the antenna to play the ball, but also bring the ball back outside the antenna. You can't put it back inside the court.
Yes, and Sean, you can see he's going ballistic right there. He nearly took us. He was kind of mad. He nearly took a swing at the ball when it bounced towards him, which is good that he did not. BYU up by a touchdown. And that lands on BYU side and then goes under, so it's point UCSD on the block. They have 5 on the match. Sani stoked.
Yeah, a little bit different vibe on the feeling on that side for UCSD. A lot more smiles than we saw earlier.
Mosier 6 for 9 now for Trent.
See him hit every single player's hand. He turned immediately, gave every ounce of that energy, didn't waste it by, talking to anyone on the other side, but turned around and touched every player's hand to get them going. I like that.
The power of the stash. 23-15. Mosier played his first 2 years at BYU. Was at Grand Canyon last year. They cut the program, came back to BYU. A cool story of homecoming for Trent Mosier. Now married, met his wife Austin while he was at GCU. She cuts hair professionally, and so she's playing the Bills, he's playing volleyball.
Well, that's why he looks so good.
Exactly. AJ Cottle smashes that one in the middle.
And Cottle, although he's had a great career, that one right there would be circled as his best swing of his career so far. A lot of heat, I think.
I love it.
A lot of heat on that ball.
He's 5 for 5. Cole Hauser off the bench to serve for BYU. That toss nicks Gavin Chambers. So if there was a donuts kind of thing, that would be the serve. Set point Tritons. BYU used both timeouts by .3, and UC San Diego has been in charge this entire set. 1 tie and 1 lead change, that's it. Ewert goes after it at 71. Herget goes out, that'll do it. UC San Diego wins set 2, 25-16, absolute domination. The first set the BYU's lost this year.
And UC San Diego putting so much pressure behind the service line, but also in the blocking lanes, forcing BYU into making a lot more hitting errors than they did last night. We'll see what adjustments both these teams make to come out and take set 3.
We'll hear from Sean Olmstead with the kill leaders are Provednikov, Leo Provednikov, and Sebastiano Sani. They need kind of 2 dudes to be there, and perhaps these 2 could carry them. Still wait for Josh Ewert to join the fun.
Right, and both of those guys just really high level, quality, just always consistent. Provednikov, Coach Rostrader said he's just a complete player, maybe the best volleyball player all around on the court, provides so much calm to this team, a great passer as well. So he really anchored that performance. You look at BYU, they struggled a lot at the beginning of that second set, but really impressed with Trent Mosier really coming on in the end. He's 6 for 9, hitting .444, and just kind of got started those last 10 points. So we'll see if he can spark anything for this BYU team as they try to get their offense going, which starts with a pass.
Well, Daney back in for BYU. Ewert's been good from the service line. What they needed a little more offensively. 2 for 8, -125. So tied at 1 set apiece. Here we go. The pivotal set 3. UCSD on the left side of your screen in white. BYU in the dark mode, black jerseys, which are new this year. They look fantastic. They have last names on the back, which is awesome. Tyler Herget will start for BYU in rotation 1, where the Cougars hit .359. They're 300 plus in 5 of the 6, which is pretty good. St. Francis 2 wins last week, and win last night, a sweep of UCSD. And for the first time, BYU has lost a set this season. Here we go, set number 3 in Provo. Peter Selcho starts things off, 1-0 Tritons.
Well, you talk a lot about the first time. There's so many firsts in these first 2 weekends, and what that does is give the team opportunity to play there. How does BYU respond after winning or losing the last set? Nobody knows, right? This is their opportunity to show they can bounce back and make adjustments.
Tufunga at Whirl. Taylor Jonathan Tufunga 3 for 7.
And Tufunga is struggling, but he wasn't struggling. Like, he had errors, but they were just misses. But I think that really got in his head a bit in that second set. If he can come on and get going, he can be a big spark.
That actually hit Whirl in the stomach. Garrison thumps that one, man. He's not been really kind of blocked or touched at all. It feels like this weekend, it's just pounding the Terraflex.
Right, and Cameron Whirl making great choices when to set his middle, and because Whirl is 6'7" and Garrison 6'9", it's tough to stop.
Chambers BYU getting more from Gavin Chambers last night and this night. Struggled a little bit last week. Got 5 kills.
Well, look at this first ball kill, side out. We're just going back and forth with side out. You get pass, set, kill, right? Very efficient.
5 kills combined on the 2 nights. 2-2, set 3. Go for Sani. Cleanly through.
And a double block from BYU, but Sani able to find that sharp cross. You see him drop that thumb to really get it inside the block.
Got the tape on the middle and ring fingers in the right hand. Aldaney gets his first kill of the night after 10 swings, 4 errors.
And that was an out-of-system play, so Aldaney knew he had a double block well formed. Really hits well down the line and takes advantage of that good set.
Here he is on the serve. Nicely done. Worrell pushes over to Ewert, who just winds up with his left hand. Like, had time, feels like.
Worrell really pushed the tempo there really tight right into the block of Herget. Not much Ewert could do on that play, but you know, you like pushing the tempo. Really take some chances.
9 blocks for BYU. Good pass from Ewert. Vednikov kept alive. This is tight for Mosier, and Mosier wins it and yells at Worrell.
We're getting close to a yellow card situation here, but both of these teams really getting into it.
This is going to be challenged by the Tritons. Mosier is fired up, really screamed across the net there. And so we'll see who actually touches it last. That's the challenge from Brad Rostratter of Viral Volley podcast fame. So who touches it last?
Well, you have to count 25 seconds because that's how long it was in the air as they both fought.
Man, I think it goes off the UCSD block.
Well, I think
Worrell
especially you've got to lean
last.
that way because it came on their side.
Yeah.
So I think it almost feels like who overpowered that play and it rolled off.
Clearly Mosier who overpowers that. And look at that. Screaming across the net. And yeah, it stays with BYU. So challenge unsuccessful. 2 left for UCSD. I always love the explanation after, like, okay, we didn't get it. Tell me exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And then if you don't feel like that was the case, you go, yeah, whatever, man. Mosier 7 kills now, hitting 500. BYU on a 3-0 run. Aldaney's been money from the service line. Real tough stuff. And then Herget gets the kill. This is second in 4 matches.
This is a great example of volleyball as a serve and pass game, right? It's so fun when everything's perfect and up to the net, but once you disrupt those passing lanes, it just makes things so difficult to find a flow.
Ewert gets 1. And that's important for UCSD. They need a little more from him. 3 for 10 now for Josh Ewert out of Moraga, California.
But he's a player that just has so much potential to just go off and take control in a match that they're going to keep him in there just hoping that some spark comes because he can really unload behind the line and then hitting.
High for Aldaney. Sani with the up. Worrell inside for Ewert, and he gets another one. Back-to-back for Josh Ewert.
That's a tough play right there for everyone involved. Terrific set from Cameron Worrell. Watch him as he has to run to set that ball. And then Ewert, the ball is over his shoulder, so he can't track it as well. He's got a triple block in front of him. Terrific choice on that swing.
Runs out from Garrison. We're tied at 7-5 BYU here in set number 3. BYU 5 for 6 to start things. UC San Diego 5 for 7 with an error. So both teams deciding they want to play offense at the same time. Mosier into the net.
Right, you've got BYU hitting 833 in this third set, and UC San Diego at 571. So a beautiful offensive performance for both teams.
That'll do it. Sean Olmstead told us he liked BYU serving last night, by the way, but it feels like they have another level to get to. He said, we've been doing it in practice. I want to see it in the games. Served by Worrell. Quick for Tufunga as that one gets touched. Point Cougars. Tufunga is going to get a yellow. He was barking. And he does get a yellow. Just a warning. No real consequence there.
I think both sides.
And now watch what he does after. That's the real question.
Right.
Now,
you want to start a fight with him?
I would not. I would not mess with that man. He's a gentle giant, by the way.
Oh, just the nicest.
As Miley Juke says, all right, calm you guys down. And it doesn't really matter who started.
No.
It matters if you react and kind of continue it, and Miley Jukes hands out the first yellow of the season.
Well, and a lot of coaches and teams enjoy that, right? Feel like it's part of the game. So it kind of depends on your school of thought there.
And your school. I would say that Grand Canyon was famous for talking.
Yeah.
There was some chatter.
Yeah.
And there are 2 Grand Canyon guys on BYU's team, just saying.
You can take the kid out of the Grand Canyon, but not the Grand Canyon out of the player.
Out of the kid. It's all good. Ewert! He's got 3 of the last 4.
So great story about Ewert, a player who really, hadn't done much. He wasn't even starting, and then in the fall, UCSD went out and had some matches against Hawaii, and Ewert was the best player on the floor, both sides. Everyone was texting like, this is TJ DeFalco, who is this kid? And all of a sudden, Brad Rostratter's like, oh, we got to get him, in the lineup.
Provednikov with the kill. Prior to that serve, the crowd started making some noise. Josh Ewert put his hands up and was like, yeah, make some noise, let's go. And so he's interacting with the crowd now, which is a lot of fun. I love that opponents come in to Provo, and they love it as much as BYU loves it. They love playing in front of 3,000 plus, as that one goes 75 but out. And that antagonizing, crowd that's here, and so they're playing a bunch of games in front of nobody. This crowd loves it. They love to play against it. It's a fun environment. And right now, UC San Diego is up to the task. 9-9, set 3. Perfect pass to Worrell. Ewert, that's still alive. He is on fire now. We said at some point he's probably going to catch fire. He is on fire right now.
Well, you watch that Bick out of the back row. What they do with Ewert is hide him in the passing lanes just to not limit him in his approach. Let's not allow him to pass so that he can really get a hard approach and use that cannon of an arm.
He had 2 kills in the first 2 sets. He has 4 in this set. As that one goes long, 10-10.
Well, that was a big one, right? Selcho, a player, yes, a missed serve, there you go. But for Selcho, who was so big in that second set, instrumental in his run of points, really won the match, or won that second set for UC San Diego.
Provednikov, Ewert, Sani, the pins, all with 6 kills right now. Joust at the net. Sani gets blocked. Oh, BYU into the net. Oldaney into the net, and so 11-10 now for the Tritons.
With so much jousting going on, you're going up and you have to push as hard as you can. If for whatever reason that ball isn't there, right, then you're gonna get caught in the net.
What is this, a Knight's Tale on the joust? Let's go. Tufunga! Off of Cook.
He hits the ball kind of hard. Just a bomb out of the middle. And both these teams talked about how important that back row set, that Bick, is to their offense.
And he, like everybody else, intense in this one. Sani tapped back over by Cottle. Sky high for Worrell. Ewert just a little low, couldn't get it past the block. That one stuffed by Cottle.
Let's talk about Cottle a little bit. You're a freshman, you're in your, 4th match of your career as a middle blocker. Reading all the hitters in front of you, dealing with that speed is so difficult, and he's really hanging in there.
Doing a great job. John Olmsted told us, you're going to like watching this kid. He's a lot of fun. He's very good. UCSD into the net.
Such a different third set, right? The first 2, all BYU. The second, all UCSD. And now these 2 powerhouses are just back and forth, blow to blow. It's exciting.
Real run for the Cougars. Chambers. Garrison finally dug. Tafung out of system. Whirl, D-ball. Provednikov kept alive by Tufunga. Oldaney was flying to his right. Had to cut it super sharp and goes off the block.
3 great things in that rally. First, A.J. Cottle slows down that swing, turns it into a free ball. A terrific set from Herget to go against motion. And then Oldaney finishing that off with the tool out of bounds. That's a big point for BYU going into that side out.
Oldaney with his 3rd kill. An intense, competitive set 3. BYU up 14-11. In the set, 9-0-12. That is kills, errors, attacks, 750. That's some, I didn't take a math class at BYU, but that's some math I can do. In UC San Diego, 9 kills on 17 swings, just 2 errors, hitting .412. Some great offense here in set 3. Whirl, Vic, blocked by Cottle. Go-go gadget arms.
That was my husband Jesse's nickname, Go-go gadget.
Because of the kind of arm extension.
Nice. Long arms, yeah.
Nice. 8 blocks for Cottle.
And that one was
pointed out by our expert statistician, Kate Daly.
And that was a smart read, and he waited and was able to time that well.
Kate Daly, by the way, superstar pitcher on the BYU softball team. She's hanging out with us during state. Sani off of Mosher. He wins that battle. 15-12, set 3, tied at 1 set apiece. That ends the 5-0 scoring run for the Cougars.
And again, that quick first ball side out so important in this 3rd set, as both teams have been very efficient offensively. Can they limit the runs of the opponent and keep the ball on the offense on their side?
67 from Sani. Another swipage. Ewert blocked on the triple. 12.5 blocks now for BYU.
And
a season high already in blocks in set 3.
A triple block, it's got to be well formed. You can see Mosher in great position as he was able to press over the net, because that ball's going to come fast off Ewert's hand.
That one out. 16-13. Next week, big matches for both these teams. UC San Diego taking on UCLA, and BYU hosting 2 with UC Irvine. Back-to-back weeks with Big West foes. Tyler Stewart, the sophomore from Broomfield, Colorado. Mosher blocked by Luke Chandler on the right side.
Chandler, spark, coming into the match right away, getting a block. A stuffed block, there's no better way to give your team some energy.
That one goes long.
And with Chandler in there, excuse me, for UCSD, he's a lefty, right? So for BYU, they've got to make that adjustment when they line up on him on the right side.
Nice pass to keep that one alive. The attempted set actually hit Ewert twice, I thought, and then blocked and back down anyway. A.J. Cottle is a menace.
Well, this is
That's
tough.
his 10th block.
It's tough for Ewert, right? He's got a double all over him. It's really tough to get past. Look at Cottle. That is a huge block over the net.
And Ewert is out. And Aiden Powell is in, who's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the religion that sponsors the school. His parents actually went to BYU.
He's one of the best passers in the country, as
you
he
saw
showcased
right there. Chandler down the line. Didn't square his shoulders. Boom. Nice swing. So the bench flexing a little bit for the Tritons here.
You're not a bench player, you are a difference maker. You're a spark. So coming off and making an immediate impact, that's exactly what you want to see from those subs.
Five to Herget. Cottle inside of the block.
And you know, interesting to see, with UCSD making all these subs, they had in their 7 matches, they had 7 different lineups. So all of these players have had significant time to come in and not lose a step as they are in the different rotations.
6 for 6, 10 blocks for A.J. Cottle. I mean, that is incredible. Oh, by the way, it's his 4th match in college. Jousted the net, lost by Herget, kept it alive. Kafunga, oh, that was going out and kept alive by Sonny. I'm not sure why he dug that one.
Well, you're looking for possibly off the hands.
Yeah, that's
right,
true.
To Fuga, it was very, very close. So a good move, a great read, especially off the triple.
Great point. He's thinking it probably was touched. Hard to react in the, 0.8 seconds there. Second and final timeout from the Tritons. Ball State taking set one against top-ranked UCLA. Long Beach State defeats Ohio State. How about Ryan Gant, your son, getting his first career start for the Cardinals? Tough loss in 5, but hey, first start, that's great.
Happy
and then
birthday,
Penn State beat Lewis on his birthday?
On his birthday.
That's awesome.
Come on,
Shout out
Loyola.
to Ryan Gant. That's amazing. Sophomore season with the Cardinal. That's awesome. Here we go, set 3, BYU up 20-15. Cole Hauser out of the timeout, Powell on the pass. First swing for Powell, rises up and gets the kill on the court where his parents went to school. How about that? The sophomore from Laguna Hills, California, was at Long Beach State, Golden West, and now UC San Diego.
And such a smart player as well, just really knows the game at a super high level, and knows a ton of ways to score.
That owns the California Volleyball Club. Mosier tipped and blocked by Selcho. As the Tritons go 2 in a row, cut it to 3.
Well, and this is the point where you feel a little bit of energy. If you're UC San Diego, with BYU at that 20-point mark, you've got to make a run right here, and BYU for sure wants to slow that down.
Timeout, BYU after 2 in a row by the Tritons. Aiden Powell comes in, passes, swings, serves. He can do it all. Kind of gone through an infection in his knee. And coming in off the bench to make an impact here late in set number 3. Okay, so we all know that UC San Diego's nickname is America's Finest City. So I thought we'd have a fun comparison of things between one of the great mountain cities. So there's SeaWorld and the San Diego Zoo and the Safari Park and everything. What does Provo have nearby? Park City Ski Resorts / White Mountain. Fun fact, BYU owns White Mountain. They own the actual mountain. You got the ocean in San Diego, you got the mountains in Provo. Both these guys were all-WAC guards and played in the major leagues.
Really?
Fun fact, Tony Gwynn was an all-WAC guard on the San Diego State basketball team. And many people forget that Danny Ainge actually played for the Toronto Blue Jays. Never played baseball at BYU, but he played for the Blue Jays in the offseason while he was a BYU student.
That's
playing
pretty
basketball.
Good athletes right there.
And then, there's Will Farrell, Ron Burgundy.
Well,
They classy San Diego.
Oh, I was going to say, he's from Irvine.
Well, I mean, representing Anchorman.
I got you, Ron
I
Burgundy, I got you.
And then Robert Redford, the Sundance kid, Rip, passed away a couple months ago. These are 2 great cities.
Yeah, you can't go wrong, right?
I live near one of these, and I went on my honeymoon to the other. I love these things. So
Right.
shout out to both. Wonderful, wonderful municipalities.
One is a little warmer today.
Yes, it is. After the timeout, Powell goes long. That's why you called the timeout. Try and ice the server. 21-17 now here in set number 3.
This is a big point for BYU. Tyler Herget. This would be huge at this point in the 3rd set to lengthen that lead a little bit.
Herget. Sonny. Blocked it in! Gavin Chambers and Connor O'Daney, 22-17.
Both these teams, the block, just such a big story in this second night as these teams went to the drawing board and really tightened up as they approached how they were going to defend.
22-17, that one outside the antenna from Herget. I love me a ref pointing at, a line judge pointing at the candidate. They freak out with the flag, like, oh my gosh! It's hard not to be distracted by that.
It's a fun call, right?
Peter Selcho gets in the zone for a sack. All options for Herget. O'Daney's dug up. Lures. Chandler down the line. He continues to play well off the bench.
And that was all started by that soft block right? Slowing that play down, and then you see just how many different players from UC San Diego can get in there and make an impact. Such a deep team. Anybody can be the guy in the night, which is fun if you're a coach, but also really tough.
Yeah, how are you gonna get all these guys from PT here? 23-19. This score brought to you by Monsters. Taylin Jonathan Tafunga, his older brother, Storm, played at BYU, had a 50-inch vertical. You think I'm joking? I never joke. Blocked by Chambers again. Boyle with the cover. Sonny blocked again, but out this time. As Jackson Fife nearly brings down Miley Jukes. Refs down.
You love the adjustment by Sonny, knowing he's got a big block in front of him. Instead of going into the meat of the block, right, he's gonna go high hands and just try to tool those out of bounds.
John Lewis, senior from Ohio. On the line at Moser. Muldaney, set point BYU. Cougars 12 kills on 19 swings. They had 15 kills in the first 2 sets.
And great bounce back for the Cougars after that second set, where it was obviously all UCSD. Terrific jog by the Cougars, and we see Herget coming in, try to finish this off.
Trevor Herget ended the St. Francis night 2 with a 75-mile-an-hour serve. 70 on that one off the tape. It was high for Sonny on the right side. Got the kill. And BYU into the net as well. Set point number 2.
A good pass again on that play. Aiden Powell coming in and doing exactly what they hoped, was steady out those passing lanes, show that ball control.
And Sonny had 2 aces last night. Gets after it at 66. Target high for Old Daney. Rips it through the seam, and he has something to say to UCSD as well. Cougars up 2-1, 25-21.
Great finish for the Cougars. Can they take some of that momentum into set 4? This battle, so much fun to watch.
BYU hits 550 in set number 3, UCSD 300. We are going to a pivotal 4th set in this top 10 matchup on Usman's on versus what was the actual set on that play?
Right.
How did you approach it as a player, coached by the great Elaine Michaelis? What was the conversation like there?
Well, I think that's funny because I remember specifically in my life in high school, it was defensively, but I was just going to my position, playing what I thought I knew, and I had a teammate who at one point was like, "What are you looking at?" And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm going to my position." She was like, "Watch the hitter. Guess what? They're going to tell you what they're doing." And it was like, duh, but it changed my whole life. And all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, if you pay attention to the right things, then you're going to be a lot better player. And so I think training attention is just as important as training skills, because what we focus on in life, right, affects everything.
That's great. We'll keep an eye on that here as BYU has had a massive blocking night. Great serve out of the gate by Worrell. In rotation 1. Mosier blocked, and UCSD starts 1-0 in set 4. It's
now,
the first set 4 for BYU of the season.
Right. And then the challenge, if you look at both of these setters, now they're thinking, oh, okay, game, let's figure this out, because your job is to try to find one-on-ones. But the blocking on both sides of the court is really, really good right now.
Funga out of the back row. Got it to go. Off of Provednikov. Funga with 4 kills on 5 swings in that set 3.
Well, and let's look at this if you're a player. Everyone watching this, if you're a player, do you want to get set? Then you do what Tafunga does, which is land and go, hey, no, you set me however you want to set me, and I'm going to figure it out.
I'll be there. One-handed back from Worrell saying, hey, my bad on that one. 2-1 Cougars here in set 4. Jeremy Jordan, Amy Gant, Kenzie Daly with you in the Smith Fieldhouse in Provo. Top 10 matchup in non-conference here. UCSD number 10, BYU number 8. Cougars 1-3 last night. Going at least 4 here tonight. Selcho in the middle. It gets so quiet when the Tritons score and you hear the Ric Flair woo from whoever scored through the headset, which is fun. These guys are having a good time. In just week number 2 of the NCAA men's volleyball season. It ends in May. We're excited for the journey here. Sani into the net. 16 errors from the Tritons. BYU side out percentage 61%, UCSD 54. There's Connor Oldaney, the Grand Canyon transfer. Had all 5 of his kills in the match in that 3rd set. The stare downs are excessive in this match. Like, I don't recall a match where there was the lingering after the swing. The way you correct it is you just turn around and do it to your own team.
Well, and it's January 17th.
Chill. Oldaney yelling across the net as well.
See, and I guess I'm so superstitious that I would never talk ever, because I always felt like if I say something the next play, I'm gonna look like an idiot and get blocked or something.
Right.
So I was always so quiet.
Turn the favor. Trent Mosier kind of had a word with Connor after that. It kind of got his attention. Said, "Hey, Connor."
Well, I think let's remember, right? BYU already has a yellow. So you've got to kind of walk the line a bit, because that can easily escalate. Yeah. You get a couple yellows, it goes to a red. That affects the game.
Yeah. You don't want to lose a point. You don't want to lose momentum. As Mosier mishit that one. BYU up 2-1. Here in set number 4 against the Tritons of UC San Diego in the Big West. BYU in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation. It's the only sport BYU's not in the Big 12. They don't have rowing in the Big 12 that BYU doesn't have, and they don't have wrestling and equestrian. Big stuff. Big stuff by Provednikov. 8th of the match for the Tritons.
Provednikov steady. Good, gets up and over, presses so well. He really elevates well and takes a lot of space.
There's Luke Chandler, the senior from Newport Beach, California. Played at Long Island a couple years ago. Pass from Fife. Oldaney is blocked by Garrison.
And look at Garrison, you know, he was just coming over to take away as much space as he could, gets in good position and just covers. There's a huge seam in the block, but he's just gonna go over and reach, and good things happen when you work hard.
6'5", UCSD. That's Chandler. That assist in BYU. Herget betters the ball, and Tufunga finishes it.
Those are important plays, because when you're out of system, right, if you can find a way to score on the not perfect passes, that just makes your offense that much better. Credit Herget, like you said, and a terrific swing from Tufunga.
Team high 8 kills for Talon Jonathan Tufunga. This is tied on the net for World. Tap by Tufunga. A reset. Cottle. High for Oldaney. Keeps it in. World. Inside, and then set to the perfect spot. But out. I thought it landed in, but they gave it to BYU.
Did they?
Will this be challenged? Yeah, that's okay. We'll take a look.
I think they pointed in after. Terrific spot, and obviously AJ Cottle not in a position where he's going to be able to defend half of the volleyball court.
They did change the call. Provednikov. No honor call like last night. Tufunga gets the touch. I don't know how they see that. They have better. I can't. It's so fast. I just look at the lines and I go, okay, whatever you said.
You know, and after struggling in that first set a bit with a couple unforced hitting errors, Tufunga really bouncing back there to be hitting 429 and leading his team in kills.
I didn't see a touch on first look there.
Really?
Yeah.
San Diego should have challenged, you're thinking?
Player said he touched it. Okay. Is that an honor call then from UCSD?
I mean, you call it an honor call, which is great, right? At some point, though, it's also a momentum. Hey, I know what's going to happen if we get on screen. So we look at this ace, and you just want to keep whatever momentum you got going. Keep the tempo and not kill every ounce of energy you've got. Right in the seam there. Terrific serve from the senior.
Just out from Garrison. Ryan's up 9-8. Funga to serve. Redshirt junior from Long Beach, California. He was on BYU's roster in 2021, 25, and now 26. He'll be on the roster next year as well. That one's in on the Bic for Vednikov. Tufunga had a COVID year and a redshirt year. He went on a mission, but he left in March, so he basically missed 3 years. It's wild, his journey here at BYU. 10-8. Mosier runs up to pass that one. Two-step approach, curls it over. Chandler blocked. Make it 15 blocks for BYU.
Well, you look at Gavin Chambers. That's a little swagger right there, right? He's feeling that effort, has had a really nice match as he's dialed in a ton of blocks, really read well, got over and closed down, and challenged these hitters for UC San Diego.
First time BYU's had 15 blocks since March 7th of last year.
Oh, there you go. Hit that ball.
Donald's like, you're going to set me? Fine.
I know at the last minute, he was getting off to approach that ball, and then it looked too good.
And in this moment, middles net so often. It's a good thing he kind of held back because you get so excited that you just pound the net. He did not.
I think that's a good point. It's a completely different arm swing when you're just doing a quick overpass. It's only wrist, and it takes people a while sometimes to figure that out.
Especially, this is his 4th match in college. He doesn't have all those reps as that one goes down. 11-10 BYU now. Chambers for serve.
And you look at Coach Rothstrider, okay, calm down. It's only 10-11, right? Everyone is in this match. Just settle in, next play.
Chambers at Sani. Pulls Whirl out. Chandler. And then Tufunga slides into the padding.
Well, with the
it wasn't
headband,
like Trent Mosier last night. He went face first into it.
But I thought with the headband he could do a little spin and finish.
I bet he's got that in his bag.
That'd be awesome.
Our score right now is Millie Bobby Brown. Sebastian Sani, wow, rips into that one. Overpassed. Provednikov looking for hands. Got it. Touch called. Joyce saying they did not. We'll see if we see a challenge from Sean. He's walking over to the card. Is there a touch? The card hath been shown.
Well, and this is the time when, just be honest, right? Did you touch it? If you didn't, then that should be an easy challenge.
Didn't really see a touch on that one. I'm thinking there might be no touch here.
Well, you watch Provednikov at that swing. He was already really close to the net. Really was just a step close, back, jumping back, and kind of caught the ball behind his head. I think that's why it went a little deep.
Mike Ferris will check out BYU's first challenge of the night. Each team gets 3 incorrect challenges. You have an unlimited amount of correct challenges.
And this is so fast.
This was very quick. Saying out, point BYU. So BYU is successful.
And because that was so quick, I don't know, does it really affect the momentum at all? You still feel the energy. I don't feel a letdown in the crowd, so it might just be, let's get back to where we were, where BYU had just a little bit of offensive mojo going on.
Muldaney. Exit to Chandler, and he is blocked by Mosier and Cottle. 16 blocks for the Cougs.
It's a really big block. That's tough. And Mosier, you can see him get around that and then press really well. It's tough to tool a hitter or a blocker that's in such good position like that.
Tape tickler for the ace from Muldaney.
And that's just to credit the equipment and a nice swing
14-11. Timeout on the court and set 4. Check out the preseason polls for the 2 leagues by these 2 teams. The MPSF poll, BYU picked to finish in 5th. Basically have the D1 teams at the top. So you have Ryan Gant playing for Stanford, then Amy Gant calling games for BYU. There's 4 and 5. And then in the Big West, it's going to be a fun race as well. Some real quality there. UC San Diego tied for 4th. So everyone can say, well, at least we're not last. But kind of. If you ain't first, you're last.
Well, I think that's
Ricky
just fun about the Big 12. It's just so much parity. Or excuse me, Big West is what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. The big MPS. Let's just go back to the old league, Amy.
I know.
Which every league says big, I guess.
You're right. But the Big West just is, there's so much parity in it. It's just every match, so much fun.
What if they had just been called the West? Is there any thought there? That rebrand? Cottle continues perfection. He's 8 for 8.
Well, and if you look at that, if you're Tyler Herget, you're thinking, I thought I set him high enough, and even that was too low. Cottle just skying, is able to save that play.
8 for 8. Boyle, good pass. Sonny off of Cottle. Trying to cut it to 2. We're up 2-1.
Right, and so important right now for UC San Diego. Within 2, very manageable, but to keep this close, work your way back in a little bit. Now making more subs just to get different players in. Wiemelt coming in, the middle blocker, junior, 6'8", into the lineup.
He's been awesome as a blocker. He's one of the tops in the country. Cottle, 9 for 9. No player in BYU history, by the way, at least rally era, has had at least 10 attacks and been perfect 10 for 10. He's sitting on 9 for 9. Again, you have to finish that one. But looking like he could have one of the best nights in BYU history. I mean, that's crazy.
And you love Herget going right back to him with the sub, recognizing new player on the floor, but getting Cottle the ball right away.
It's Cole Hauser. Ace for Cole Hauser.
See,
First of the season.
You want Cole Hauser to do something well because he just is a fireball. He's so much energy and brings so much joy to the court. And so watch him as he responds to this play. His team just so happy, such a great reaction.
He's played outside, libero, serving sub now tonight. 17-13, Cougars in set 4. He will qualify. Let's say he only has 1 more attack, but he misses. That'd be the 4th best hitting percentage, minimum 10 attacks in the rally era. That is since a 1. Are you kidding me?
Well, and also, it's not like he's played a ton of volleyball. He's still so raw, and every time he
What do you
steps
mean?
on the
He
floor-
started his junior year in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. Came to BYU camps, went to Utah Valley for a year, went on his mission. He hasn't been playing volleyball for 2 years. He got back, he's been back for a few months. He's having an unbelievable night against a top 10 team. 17-14. Funga gets hands. Crichton's in transition. Sani, triple block up. Got it off the block and out. 2-point set.
You love Sonny, not afraid to go right after the triple block. Using Chambers' hands out of bounds. A much needed side out. Can they take this and get a couple more to tie this up?
Fife. Tufunga off hands. Chambers seized the moment.
Right, he had to think about it for a little bit. Do I want to stab this? I don't know, but gets a good bounce, and BYU quickly gets that ball back.
Tyler Herget. BYU up 18-15, 2-1 in the match. BYU senior setter from Connecticut hits the antenna. He has gone outside both antennas.
Clearly trying to go down the line.
Yeah.
Right, really attack that sideline, and has missed it a couple times. And you know, last night BYU really felt like they served the libero a little too much and wanted to move that to the sidelines.
Josh Ewert back in to serve.
It's clear that Tritons want to spark. He can do it.
Wow, and that's an ace. As Jackson Fife goes flying out. We saw 79 miles an hour, yeah, coming right into our booth. And that was wild. We're just trying to get out of the way. Holy
well, that's a
mackerel.
spark off the bench. There you go, Ewert. Get an ace.
Hide the laptops. Kate Daly hiding her precious head because she is an asset to the softball team. Can't have her injured. Timeout BYU. 18-17 now. Here's Kate getting ready for the season. You're always going to be good this season, right? She says yes. Oh yeah, can't wait. Start playing in a couple of weeks. I believe 2 weeks. It's going to be a great season of BYU softball as well. So 18-17. Triton's not going away here. They've cut it to 1. And how about Josh Ewert? You said it's perhaps the toughest thing to do in sports is you just come in cold, you got to serve.
Right, at 18-16 in the fourth, back against the wall. It's hard enough to get the ball in, challenging, but to dial up an ace, really impressive. And clearly BYU recognizing that Ewert can go on a run here. They want to ice him a bit and get that side out. You look at the stat line right now for UC San Diego. They have used so many different players from their roster just coming in and filling a role, and really all of them have done what they've asked off the bench, being a spark, getting a block here, getting a nice pass. Just an impressive job from such a deep lineup.
So one of the connections between these two schools is Ron Larson, who played for BYU's club team in the 70s and then was the head coach from 2000 to 2005 at UCSD, actually won the D3 title. They transitioned to D2 and played in the MPSF. He was the coach of the year in 04. They only had 3 wins, but they were all top 10 wins. 2008 and 12, he was a USA men's Olympic assistant coach and was actually the interim head coach for the United States while Hugh McCutcheon dealt with the passing of his father-in-law in China during the Olympics. Ron took over and helped this team get to the gold. It was a tragic story for Hugh. Ron did a great job stepping in as this ball raises the line. And I believe there is a challenge on this play. Looked like it was in.
But I think this is the time, right? Every point now just becomes so important. And I think both teams recognize that. Oh, that's a good look.
That's it, yeah. The first angle we had prior to this one. This one shows it in me on the line.
I think if you want to challenge, if you're a coach, you can know that at BYU you're going to get the best looks. You can get great camera work.
Because of our
angles.
crew. And most of the time, I want to give credit to our whole staff, but I want to point out Scott Morgan. He's on our, what we call our slash. It's super slow-mo. You're seeing, you can see sweat on a guy's brow. He's the one that's catching some of the great angles. Our whole crew is awesome. Scott is our first team All-American National Cameraman of the Year guy. Like, we give, if we need a certain job, we go, Scott, you go get this one. Shout out to our whole crew, they're fantastic. And happy birthday, Scott, on Monday. I believe he's turning 33. He's telling me, nope, it's a little, oh, younger than that? Okay, cool. 1917. Nice serve by Tufunga. Chandler upped by Herget. Tufunga, hittable. Boyle on the dig. Sani cuts it. 1 point set, 19-18.
This is going to be fun, right? We get into the red zone. These two teams tied up. It comes down to just 5 big points, all the pressure on the line in what has been a very contentious match. Can UCSD push this to a 5th set?
Contentious is the word. Whirl. Somebody got to net, and it was Tyler Herget.
Oh, it was actually UCSD was in the net, but I think they're going to call that Herget was back row first. So this is a tough one.
What happened first?
Yep, because Sani was in the net, but you look at Herget trying to save that play. Oh, this could be the call of the match right here.
UCSD gets the point. They're saying that Herget touched it as a back row attacker in the front row first.
But then the question is, it wasn't challenged. I mean, like,
well, Sean's got a card in his hand.
Sani didn't hit the ball, right? I guess you would say Herget may be reaching over the net as a back row attacker, but if no one hit it at him, if no one touched it.
Yeah, this challenge, BYU should challenge and get a net violation.
Because then it's not a back row block.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Unless you're saying that he reached over the net, right? But it's not a back row block.
Was that what the call was? No, they called back row attack. Yeah.
Right. So that's.
BYU should challenge this.
It's a tricky one. Like, I don't know.
And here comes Mike Farris after the appeal. This is a non-challenge appeal. Mike Farris has had a conversation. He's convinced of a new piece of information, perhaps. Now coming over to Miley Jukes and having the chat.
Well, I think you could argue that Herget did reach over the net on that play, right?
That's not what they called them.
It had crossed the plane, right?
I feel it. That's not what they called
it. But a back row block, a back row attack, it's not, because there was no touch with the opponent. If
Miley Jukes said, we're calling that you are over the plane, Tyler, that's different. That's not even challenging. Let's check in with Kenzie.
Yeah, Jerem, the dispute that we're seeing over here is that ref Mike Walton saying that this is an unchallengeable play, but Miley Dukes is saying that it is challengeable, and that's the message that Tyler Herget came to tell Sean Olmstead, and that's why he's frustrated, because he's trying to challenge the play, but now it looks like they're deciding it cannot be challenged.
They can't challenge net? That's interesting to me. Why can't they challenge net? 19s. And that's a huge play in this game.
Huge.
I don't understand why they can't challenge net. Tufuga out of the back row says, challenge this.
Yikes. It was as if he was loading energy throughout that entire challenge play and just unloaded on that ball. Wow.
Do you remember when the Wakandan tech absorbs the energy and then gives it back?
Like.
How about that? Trevor Herget and his mustache are back in the match. 2019 Brigham Young. Big moment here for the freshman. Leans into it, good serve. One-hander smashed for the kill by Selcho. 20s.
And that's an interesting play right there. You know, you wonder if the blockers staying home a little bit, not jumping with the setter, obviously given last night and what BYU talks about, but maybe with these calls that we've gotten with those disputed things on the top of the tape.
Normally when that one-handed set, as that goes wild, normally that's to the middle and not the outside as Mosier got hands.
All right, here we go, right? Game to 5.
21-20, the most practiced situation is, okay, it's 2020, let's play.
Yeah, you do games to 5 in practice every single day because you know every point important.
Well, Danny's arguably been BYU's most consistent server tonight. Still alive! Blocked by BYU again. They thought they had the point early on in that. Whirl sets it over. Herget takes it.
Yeah, that's not who BYU wanted to take that first play.
5 tight, Mosier resets. Herget puts it down! And then summons the crowd to get up. 22-20, perhaps frustrated by the call a few moments ago.
Well, and also recognizing, hey, this is down to the wire, and BYU wants to use this incredible crowd and their energy. Yeah, turn to your team for energy, but turn to the crowd.
We're gonna have a challenge of net from Brad Rostrader.
I like that call from Ross Strader because look at the energy BYU has. The crowd's involved. They're still punching each other, and now Ross Strader, hey, okay, dial it down, reset. Yeah, if they get the point, great, but if not, they get a chance to come out and try to craft a side-out play.
He doesn't have a timeout, so this could be just a timeout type situation, or he really thinks it is. But BYU's up 22-20. Earlier with Mosier, ball hit the tape on that one, and then Herget looked, I think everybody looked pretty clean.
Slow that down because the ball was pretty much in the net there, but did Herget touch any of it?
UCSD with crucial challenge right here with BYU up 2. As we take a look at the entire play. Clean there, great save by the way by the Tritons, that was amazing.
Yeah, look at this scramble defense on both sides of the floor.
It looks good, the ball hit the net there.
Oh, I still can't tell. Oh man.
The ball, okay.
The net's gonna move, right? The ball touched the net, so you just don't know because we can't see that fall.
Ooh, I think Herget gets it. I think Herget got it. Oh no, that stays with BYU. I thought on the follow through on that last look.
Well, I think you don't see
hit the
his
net.
finger, right? But you know the net's moving because of the ball, so I think that's really tough.
Interesting.
And once again, that's a big point, right? We've had so many that were like, that was it.
I think that was a better challenge than I thought in terms of, hey, he was close. Mulvaney. Selcho cuts it to 1.
I love that response from UCSD right out of that first ball kill, pass, set, kill, get that back. And who do you want on the line in this match? Selcho, who's gone on a run after run with that hybrid serve.
Really passing 3, but it's kind of 2.5. Tufunga goes out. We are tied at 22.
Yikes. And like you said, the passing lanes right now for BYU, and Tufunga, you could see it on his face. He was like, that was a big one. He wanted it. Trent Mosier scooting way in, but Selcho really likes to attack that back corner. So BYU's got to get on that.
Mosier, 23-22, Brigham Young. He's got 10 kills to join Tufunga in double figures. And it's one-on-one with Cottle, who's been unstoppable, drawing the block. Here's Mosier.
Yeah, there's almost 3 players in double figures for BYU.
Good balance tonight. Boyle calls for it. Point BYU, no touch, match point. And the crowd is going crazy.
And that's the swing from Prevennikov. That's what he needed to do, a good swing, but just missed those fingers.
Up 2, Mosier. Into the net.
Interesting, Chandler back there to serve at this moment. He hasn't served a ton in this match last night or tonight.
Tufunga, out! We are tied at 24. BYU is going to challenge touch. They think there was touch, and if there was, they win.
That's a tough one, though. I don't know that it was that obvious. Tufunga getting on it, hit pretty high, but I don't know if the block was formed. That looked close.
Left hand of whirl. Would love to see it slow. Here it comes. I don't think so. Sometimes the blink of the lights gets you. Just watch if the fingers bend back. I don't think so.
Looks like he went right down the middle.
I think it's clean. I think UCSD is going to keep this point. I've been very wrong many times before. This would be a great look. I don't see any fingers bending back.
This is the look.
Yep.
A field goal right through.
And the kick is good.
Yeah, unlucky if you're Tufunga and San Diego. What a time to tie that up is a huge opportunity. And the team, you know, we talked about a contentious match. These two teams just chatting it up at the net. You look at Sonny and Mosier. All's good.
What are you guys doing later? You guys headed over to Nico's? What's going on? Okay, here it comes. Stays with UCSD. So we are going to extras.
Yeah, but look, we're in row 5, right? BYU in row 5. This is their toughest rotation to get a side out in, not the one they want to be in at this point in the match.
If Cottle can get around and get open on a good pass, he's 9 for 9. You don't set the middle a ton in this situation, but given how hot he is, who knows? Chandler, 24th. In for the ace!
Wow.
Set point UCSD now.
What?
Timeout BYU.
Look at that spot from Chandler. In the perfect spot. I don't know.
Yeah.
No one's passing that. That is an ace at every level.
And Aldani immediately points in like, yeah.
Props, that's just a good shot.
Look
right
at
there.
that. Could not have been placed any better. I mean, you could just graze the white line, but like in the court.
And at 24-24.
Come on.
Yeah, what is that? Pressure
How many
enough.
times are you actually going to hit that as opposed to miss that?
Yeah, you
Man.
love it.
A 3-0 run by UC San Diego.
At the end in the red zone, right? Like, what a time to come alive. Terrific effort to try to push this to 5.
Luke Chandler. Good time for his first ace of the year, bud. Set point. It was match point for BYU. It can swing that quick.
Well, and then you get back to BYU again. I mean, that ace, no one's going to get that. But if you are BYU, you're thinking, what are we going to run here? I mean, Tufunga, hey, he's been hitting 375, right? He's been steady, but his last 2 swings have been errors. And so that's tough. You've got there on that right side, Mosier, you know, maybe you get that ball to him. It's tricky. Or he's in the back row. Whoa.
It all starts with the pass. BYU hiding Aldani. Passing to Funga, Fife, and Mosier.
Right.
And here comes Chandler. Does he dare go in a similar spot? Mosier standing near the line now.
Right.
Here we go. Luke Chandler, the senior. Set point, UC San Diego. Goes it to Funga. Great pass. Mosier inside of the block on Whirl. And it took a sec for this crowd to realize which side of the net that was on.
I think
25.
they were all holding their breath. Tufunga stepping in to pass that ball, and then right up the middle. Nobody around for Mosier on that pick.
First time in extras for both teams in a set. Cottle into the net. Set point number 2 for UCSD. Tough pass. Herget, great pass to Tufunga. Reset. Herget has to grab it at the last second. Back to Tufunga. A laser is in. 26s. Trent Mosier on the assist.
Yeah, little miscommunication there, but Taylon Tufunga really stepping up and getting that ball down when he had to take a couple swings in that rally against a big block in front of him.
BYU's had 2 match points. UCSD has had 2 set points. Out of the back row for Leo Provednikov. Set point number 3 for the Tritons.
And Provednikov just smooth and calm, getting it done.
Jim Garrison on the serve. Crowd's been on their feet for like 10 minutes. Out. And here comes Tufunga. Neither team with the timeout. High and far toss for Tufunga, and he goes long. set point 4 for UCSD.
All right, let's keep this going.
We're here all night, baby.
And BYU again in that a little bit of their uncomfortable rotation where they've got stacked on the right side.
Great serve, but out. Ooh, that was close. Whirlwind after it, 28. Top 10 matchup, 4th set. Free volleyball. Gavin Chambers goes long.
Just these players have a bit of adrenaline clearly at this point, right? There's a lot going on. You go back to serve, it's so tough. You got to calm yourself, keep that play in. But hey, they haven't been in this situation this year yet.
Set point 5 for UCSD. Here's Sani. Rips one into the net. We're going to the 30s. And Oldani's like, give me the ball.
Well, I think Oldani's done a nice job tonight figuring out when to go for it, when to go 80% in his seam, and I think he keeps the ball in when he needs to.
5 service errors in a row by these two teams. That one's in. Provednikov. Herget has to race over to it, high and slow for Mosier off the block. Match point number 3 as BYU staves off 5 set points.
Well, Danny just getting that ball in, allowing his team to play defense, and great job for Herget. Just high for Mosier. He can hit high against that block.
Oldani has been money in keeping that ball in. Off the block by UCSD, Provednikov. 30-30.
Well, when that's set on the line, you look at Provednikov, is it 1-1 or is it 30-30? You don't know. His face is the same. He's just going to go to work.
BYU in rotation 4. Their best rotation offensively, hitting 500. Will A.J. Cottle get an opportunity? 10 for 10!
Well, and that one to Cottle, we don't see him running that play 3 feet away from the setter that much, but he was just as confident as if he was a fifth-year senior.
Wow. Mosier, match point 4, into the net. Everybody into the net.
Well, and look who's back. Chandler, back to the line. Weren't we just here?
That rotated so fast.
See if he can get another ace.
31-31. The fans have been on their feet for a long time. This has been fun. Tickles the tape. Back row to Mosier!
We'll see
match point 5.
Right, BYU going right to Mosier. That was the play that got them out of that rotation the last time Chandler was serving. They're not gonna mess around. They're gonna go to Mosier off the pick and get back to try to finish this off.
Here's A.J. Cottle. Got to keep it in. Does so. The crowd,
I don't know, yeah.
crowd rejoices. In to keep the match alive. Let's go all night. Provednikov makes it 32-32, a Jimmersworth.
His 11th kill and probably 6 of them in our extra points.
Here we go. Provednikov into the net. Match point 6. Tyler Herget. Both teams out of timeouts too. There's no stoppages here.
Look for Sani on the left.
Boyle, perfect pass to Whirl. Provednikov out of the back row.
Nice. Great choice again. You know, we talked about him leading into this match. He's the steady leader on the floor, and what do you want when the match is on the line but your go-to player stepping up?
Garrison keeps it in. That's half the battle right now. Oldani off to block it out. It was close, but Five had to watch it. Match point 7.
And watch Fife off this tool, taking it to the line to make sure that that ball goes out.
Tufunga, what a match. Smacks that one. Free ball.
Good save.
For the match, Mosier! The Cougars win it 35-33. It took them 7 match points. And this place is going crazy.
When you listen to that crowd, a hard-fought match, just what we expected. Fantastic performance on both sides of the floor. And that's a big win for the Cougars in the field house.
4-0. 7 match points. UCSD had 5 set points to try and get it to 5. And the Cougars take down the Tritons in a 5th. Remember, 4 years ago, UCSD came in here and won both in 5. The Cougars, for the first time, lose a set, nearly lost a second. And what a match. Trent Mosier led the way with 14 kills. Sebastiano Sani with 13, but we have seen tonight a rally scoring record from 2001 to now. No BYU player had ever had at least 10 attempts and hit 1,000. AJ Cottle, in his 4th collegiate match, just set the rally scoring record at BYU for hit percentage. He didn't miss one, 10 for 10. You have to have at least 10 attacks. He also had 11 blocks, which is tied for 8th most in block assists in a match. And I dare say the freshman record.
Right. But
in the rally era.
Point you say, thank you, good night, I'm out. You can't do better than that.
That is, I mean, he could have more attacks and be perfect, but, and it wasn't like it was against Little Sisters of the Poor. This was UC San Diego, a top 10 team, and BYU just got 2 quality wins, and AJ Cottle gets the interview with Kenzie, and here she is. Can't hear Kenzie. Perhaps we'll get her mic going.
Well, and I think regardless, AJ's going to have an amazing interview for his first one, so we'll check that out.
So AJ's coming over to our spare headset. Unfortunately, can't hear Kenzie there, but